The elevator stopped with a soft ding on the 27th floor of the Sterling and Company building. I stepped out, coffee in one hand, phone in the other, already late for the morning briefing. That's when I heard it. A sharp gasp. I looked up instinctively. And froze. She was standing near the open balcony doors of the executive lounge. Evelyn Carter. My boss. The woman everyone feared. The woman who never made mistakes. Her silk shirt had come undone at the top, fluttering wildly in the wind rushing in from outside. Papers were scattered on the floor. Her hair, always perfectly tied, was loose. And for one single second, she looked human. Her eyes locked onto mine. The color drained from her face. She rushed forward, gripping her shirt tightly, cheeks flushed. She started, then stopped. The wind slammed the balcony door shut behind her. She swallowed hard and said quietly. You didn't see anything, right? The wind blew my shirt. I met her eyes. Something inside me made a decision before my brain could catch up. I smiled slightly and said. Didn't see a thing. Relief flashed across her face. But something else did too. Something dangerous. Evelyn Carter was known across Chicago's corporate world as the Ice Queen. Brilliant. Unforgiving. Untouchable. People didn't talk to her, they survived meetings with her. I'd been working under her for almost a year. She barely noticed me, except when my reports landed perfectly on her desk. That morning, during the briefing, she avoided eye contact. She spoke sharply, professionally, but her fingers trembled when she turned the pages. I noticed. No one else did. After the meeting, she stopped me outside the conference room. Mr. Hayes, she said. Yes, ma'am. Her voice dropped. My office. 5 minutes. My stomach tightened. Her office overlooked the entire city. Glass walls. Minimalist decor. Total control. She closed the door behind me. Silence stretched. Then she sighed. I want to be clear, she said, turning to face me. What happened this morning stays forgotten. Of course, I replied. It was nothing. She studied my face carefully. Most men wouldn't call it nothing. I'm not most men. That made her pause. She crossed her arms, the same shirt now buttoned perfectly, like armor. Why? She asked softly. Why cover for me? I shrugged. Because everyone deserves privacy. Even powerful people. Something cracked. Just slightly. After that day, things changed. She noticed me. Not in obvious ways, but subtle ones. Extra assignments. Late-night emails. Questions that didn't need asking. One evening, I stayed late finishing a proposal. The office was empty when I heard heels behind me. You're still here, she said. So are you. She smiled faintly. Coffee? She asked. That was new. We sat in silence, city lights glowing outside. You know, she said suddenly, people think I'm fearless. You're not. I asked. She laughed bitterly. I'm terrified every day. That was the first truth she ever shared with anyone at work. Weeks passed. Late nights became normal. Conversations grew personal. One rainy evening, the power flickered. The city went dark. Emergency lights glowed red. She stood close. Too close. You're calm, she said. I trust you, I replied without thinking. Her breath caught. Don't, she whispered. That's dangerous. For who? I asked. She looked at me. And for the first time, she didn't look like my boss. She looked like a woman standing at the edge of something she'd spent her life avoiding. That night, she told me everything. The failed marriage. The betrayal. How vulnerability once destroyed her career. I built walls, she said quietly. And then I became them. You don't have to be alone, I said. She shook her head. You don't understand what this could cost you. I already made my choice, I replied. She stared at me. You're reckless. Maybe, I smiled. Or maybe I just didn't look away. People noticed. The way she defended my work. The way meetings shifted around my schedule. Rumors spread. She called me into her office one morning, furious. This has to stop, she said. I nodded. You're right. She looked surprised. You're agreeing? I don't want to hurt you. Her voice softened. You don't want to hurt me? I stepped closer. I want you safe. Her eyes filled with emotion. Why? She whispered. I answered honestly. Because I care. The board called an emergency review. Anonymous complaints. Allegations of favoritism. She was suspended pending investigation. That night, she stood outside my apartment door, rain-soaked, shaking. I'm scared, she admitted. I opened the door. Then don't be alone. She cried. Not as my boss. Not as the Ice Queen. As Evelyn. Weeks later, the investigation cleared her. But she resigned anyway. I don't want power if it costs my soul, she said. She looked at me. And I don't want to hide anymore. She took my hand. Do you still want this? Knowing everything? I smiled. I never looked away. Months later, we sat on a balcony, wind blowing softly. She laughed as her shirt fluttered. Careful, I teased. The wind again. She smiled, eyes warm. This time, she said, I don't mind being seen. I looked at her. And thought about the moment that changed everything. When she asked. You didn't see anything, right? And I chose honesty disguised as silence. Sometimes, not looking. Is how you truly see someone. Evelyn Carter was no longer the woman whose name silenced boardrooms. No assistants. No reserved parking. No glass office in the sky. Just Evelyn. And that scared her more than she ever admitted. We sat at a small cafe near the river, the kind she never would have entered before. You're quiet, I said. She stared into her coffee. I spent my whole life being someone important. Now I'm just me. I reached across the table. That's the version I fell for. She smiled faintly. You didn't even know her back then. I saw her, I replied. You were just hiding. 2 weeks later, the past came knocking. Mark Reynolds. Her ex-husband. Former CFO. Smooth smile. Dangerous charm. He showed up at a networking event where I'd been invited. Well, if it isn't Evelyn Carter, he said, eyes flicking to me. And you must be the reason she threw everything away. Evelyn stiffened. She didn't throw anything away, I said calmly. She walked out. Mark laughed. She always did like dramatic exits. Later that night, Evelyn admitted the truth. He never loved me, she said. He loved standing next to power. And now? I asked. And now he wants it back. Mark started appearing everywhere. Business lunches. Events. Even near Evelyn's apartment. You don't belong with her, he told me one night outside a restaurant. She needs ambition. Status. I smiled slowly. She already had that. It wasn't enough. For the first time, his confidence cracked. Evelyn watched from inside, anxiety written all over her face. Later, she whispered. I don't want to lose you because of my past. You won't, I said. But you have to stop running from it. Evelyn decided to start over. A consulting firm. Small. Independent. Ethical. No shortcuts. I helped her build it from scratch, proposals, clients, late nights. One evening, exhausted, she leaned against my shoulder. I've never built something without fear before, she said. That's because fear usually builds walls, I replied. Not futures. She kissed my cheek softly. And for the first time, she slept peacefully. Mark made his move. A massive investment. Control clauses hidden in fine print. He called Evelyn directly. You come back, he said. You get everything again. She didn't answer immediately. That night, she asked me the hardest question. If I say no, am I choosing love over success? I shook my head. You're choosing yourself. The next morning, she rejected the offer. Publicly. Mark's smile vanished. Clients disappeared overnight. Funding froze. Someone spread rumors again. Evelyn broke down. I knew this would happen, she cried. I ruin everything. I held her tightly. No, I said firmly. You're finally doing something real. Real things fight back. That's when I realized. She wasn't afraid of failing. She was afraid of trusting happiness. I quit my job. She stared at me in shock. You did what? I'm joining you, I said. As a partner. You don't owe me. I choose you, I interrupted. Tears filled her eyes. No one's ever chosen me without conditions. Get used to it. Months passed. The firm stabilized. Slowly. Honestly. One evening on the same balcony where everything once began, the wind picked up again. She laughed, holding her shirt. Careful, she teased. You might see something. I stepped closer. This time, I said softly, I'm not pretending I didn't. She rested her head against my chest. I was powerful once, she said. But this feels stronger. Under the city lights, I took out a small ring. Her breath caught. This isn't a boardroom, I said. There's no pressure. She didn't let me finish. Yes. She laughed through tears. Yes, yes, yes. On our wedding day, someone asked her. Do you miss being the Ice Queen? She smiled and looked at me. No, she said. I finally stopped hiding behind armor. She squeezed my hand. And all it took was someone who chose not to look away.